Hi heathens! So for today's video, I'm going to do something a little different because I'm not normally like a tutorial type person, and I don't know that I'm going to consider this an actual tutorial because I'm kind of going into it having no idea what the outcome is going to be, but we're going to try. I want to do a like glamorous Christmas look, and I am going to put, while I film, a little bit of chapstick on because I've been picking at my lip again. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it kind of hurts. So I'm going to put a little bit of chapstick on until I get to my lips. This is the Glow for a Cause lip balm. Just to give it a little moisture and take away some of the pain. So we're going to get right into it. I have a few products out in front of me that I'm going to use. I've been sitting here debating between a few of them for a little bit, but I think in my brain I know what I want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin, even though I'm not doing the skin first. I'm going to use the AOA Studio Wonder Skin Poreless Primer. So this is what my skin looks like beforehand. And if you see like a little splotch right up here, I was swatching foundations earlier, and for some reason there's this little spot on my face that I can't seem to get the foundation off. Because I am using a new foundation in this video, but I wanted to like color test it first so that obviously I wasn't orange. And then I tested another one that was a little too dark. Wasn't exactly what I was going for. So by the time y'all see this, it will be, you know, the holidays. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, this is just going to be a nice glam tutorial with some holiday inspired colors. I've already done my eyebrows. I use the Italia Deluxe microblading effect pencil in the shade Hazel, which is number 5, which is kind of interesting because I've never heard an eyebrow pencil call the shade Hazel before. I've only heard that used for eye color, not necessarily eyebrow color. But that's okay because it works pretty well for me. So for eyes, I'm going to go in with the Just My Luck palette from ColourPop. I love this palette. I was debating whether I wanted to do a red or a green eye or like a silver, and I went with green because I want to do a red lip. But I was afraid if I did a red eye and a red lip and they didn't quite match, it would look really bad. So I'm going to try a green eye and a red lip and hope for the best. I'm going to get my little AOA brush color cleaner thing real quick. Make sure there's nothing on this brush. And I'm going to go in with the shade right here called Chances Are, which is the lightest green in the palette. So I was tagged in a holiday Christmas tag video from a friend of mine here on YouTube. Her YouTube name is FabFit Mama. Anyway, her name is Christine. She's really amazing. And she tagged me in it. And I was reading through the questions and listening to her responses. And this is kind of my response video, but it made me realize that, you know, my boyfriend and I, I'm going to blame it partially on the fact that we don't own our own home, we rent. So we don't have like a whole lot of definitive Christmas traditions. Like, we go see my parents and his parents, and then that's pretty much it. You know, we eat over there, so we don't have like a Christmas meal that we always cook. You know, we just don't have a lot of set traditions just for us. So that's something that I want to work on going into 2020. is kind of building a routine or something that I can look forward to each year. You know, for Thanksgiving this year, we actually made a ham, which is the first time that I've ever cooked a ham personally. Like, I've helped people cook them. I'm gonna now go in with Kiss My Hoss, which is slightly darker, but I am using the same brush. I've helped other people make them, but I've never made one on my own. And it actually turned out really well, if I do say so myself. So I may wind up making another ham for Christmas if the stores have any. We haven't gone to look yet, so by the time we get there, they may be all sold out, because I know ham is a kind of a Christmas staple or a holiday staple for most people. You know, in the winter, that's a good food to make. I don't know if it's just me, but these do not look even, and I can't figure out why. I'm looking a little grinchy. I was going for pleasant, not grinchy, for once. So I'm going to take a smaller brush real quick. That's not the one I want. This is a Luxie 237 blending brush. And I'm going to go in with that same shade I was just using and just define it a little more along the crease. So unfortunately, I'm not going to do like a full response video for the Christmas tag, because I feel like it's going to be super boring, because a lot of my answers are like, I don't know, we don't have one type thing. So maybe next year I can get in on some of that action. And maybe next year I can do a Christmas tutorial with a little more thought and planning put into it. This was actually a super last minute decision, because it's super rainy and just gloomy outside, which I normally really enjoy. But I got super down earlier and just really had no motivation to do anything. I finally got some wrapping done, and I just figured if I do some makeup I might feel a little better. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Mo Bamba down here, which is a deep green, but it does have a bit of a shimmer. I'm going to take this same Luxie brush and put this mainly along the outer part of my eye and bringing it up into the crease. So what are some things that y'all like to do around this time of year? We don't get like a lot of, I know I said this a few videos ago, we don't get a lot of super cold weather, so we can't do some kind of traditional holiday things like building snowmen or, you know, having snowball fights or anything like that. It's just not something you really get to experience a whole lot in South Carolina, or at least the part that I'm in. You know, once you get a little closer up to North Carolina, maybe, but not down here. I don't know if I'm crazy about this eye look yet, but maybe once I add my next touch, it might get a little better. So this is the reason I was debating between red and green as well, because I have two ColourPop Super Shock shadows, or not Super Shock, Supernova shadows. These are their liquid eyeshadows, and I'm going to use this one, which is hopefully, I should probably swatch. I haven't used it in a while. I was going to say hopefully more green than blue. It's in the shade Mothership. I don't know, it's pretty bluey. Whatever. We're going to go in with it, and then if I have to add one of the green glitters on top, I will. So I'm just going to put this all over my lid. Oh yeah, that's pretty blue. Well, that's disappointing. But it's my own fault. Like in the tube, you can't really tell if it's green or blue. So I was just kind of hoping. Oh. Oh, well, that's not quite working. It's not giving the effect that I wanted, and it's pulling shadow off. So I'm just going to tap some onto the other side to make them look a little more even. Take it off the back of my hand. This is going sideways pretty quickly, isn't it? If you are not new to my channel, are you surprised? If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm a mess. Oh dear. Alright. For some reason, that side didn't go quite as bad. Why was this side a mess? Okay. You know what? We're just gonna try to remedy it. So, I'm gonna try to find a kind of flat brush. I'm gonna take the shade 50/50, which is the corner sparkly green, like shimmer. And I'm gonna tap that on my lid, kind of blending it into that sparkly liquid shadow. And then do the same on the other eye. So I actually work Monday and Tuesday of this coming week, which by the time you see this video, both of those days will probably be over, because I think I'm going to upload this as a bonus video either on Tuesday or Wednesday. Now I'm going to go in with Big Banks, which is a slightly lighter sparkly green, but same brush. So I've been trying to debate how I want to do my makeup for work, because I do work in an office, so I can't do anything terribly over the top, but I still want to be festive. So I was thinking of doing a silver or gold holiday eye. And then obviously I can do something a little more poppy for like get-togethers with family. Alright, so that is what we're going to be working with, and I'm going to take the littlest bit of Olive You, which is a gold olive green, and I'm going to tap that just right in the center, going up, kind of almost like a halo eye type effect, and then blend it along the sides just to give it a little extra something. I was going to use Mary Jane, but Mary Jane is very bright, and I probably will use it on my inner corners. So that is what we're working with. Now, let me get away from the eyes for a second so I can finally move on to my complexion. Goodness, I feel like that took way longer than it should. So the new foundation I'm going to use is the Believe Beauty in the shade Porcelain. When I swatched it earlier, it seemed like this shade would work pretty well. It's a little liquidy, so we'll see how that goes. Let me get my foundation brush. It seems like it's a pretty good shade for me. I feel like maybe the undertone isn't quite right, but I'll be real with y'all. I'm not 100% sure what my undertone is. I watched a video the other day with a lady, really informative, who was explaining the difference between like surface tones and undertones, and you know, they're not always one and the same. Like, it was very informative, but I still can't figure mine out. And the way she was explaining it, like, she had a bunch of different foundations and was doing half cheek swatches, I think is what she called it, where you essentially put the stripe on your face, but then you actually blend it in across your cheek to see like how it blends in, and like does it blend in or does it leave like a yellowy orange tint? Is it too light, too dark? Like it was very nice to watch, but I feel like in this case it was kind of nice because I had the foundation on hand. But in most cases it's only going to help me if I'm going somewhere like Ulta or Sephora where they have samples and testers that you can swatch, because I really don't want to have to buy a foundation, test it not be right, and then, you know, have to return it or not be able to use it or whatever the case may be. I think that looks pretty good. And it's not terribly tacky. So I'm just going to take the smallest amount of powder on, not that. Where is my, okay, well I found it and knocked over something else in the process. So I'm going to take my AOA Studio Perfect Press Powder in Translucent, which is one that I've been using a lot again recently. And I'm just going to set the main areas where I'm putting additional products. And then we're going to get straight on in to bronzer. So I am going to be using, I gotta get my brush, the Lovecraft Beauty Bronzer Trio. And I'm going to go in with the shade Cymbeline, which is the fairest shade. And this is my new Complex Culture bronzing brush. You're supposed to press and then blend with this brush. So get a little more for the other side. Press and then blend. I feel like I didn't pick up quite as much on that side. Once again, I feel like one side is significantly darker than the other, but it could just be lighting. I've got to figure out a way to not hold the mirror directly in front of you. All right, now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush, and the one that I want to use is right here. I was gonna go in with a really pinky one, but I kind of want to offset a little bit of everything else that's going to be happening, and I'm going to go in with the Ofra Madison Miller blush, which is All You Need Is Love. It's much more peach corally than it is pink. It is also very pigmented, and it has a bit of a sheen to it. So I'm going to take it and tap it onto both sides before I go in and blend, because if I have too much product left on the brush, then it gets really out of hand really fast. And I am not a terribly big blush person to begin with, so I don't need it getting really intense. So that is that, and then I'm going to go back in with the Luxie brush that I used with that green shade and just pinch it and drag it under the eye a little bit to connect everything. Now for highlight, I'm going to go in with a really intense one. This is the Makeup Revolution Strobe Highlighter in the shade Magnitude. So I'm going to take this Complex Culture brush, which I've been using a lot lately, like ever since I got it. Wipe it on my leg a little bit. I'm going to go in. I think there may be a, oh yeah. There may have been a little bit of the last highlighter that I used still on this brush, which thankfully has a very similar tone, so it's not messing with this too much, because this has a gold green kind of shift. And the last highlighter that I used with this brush was the Colored Rain Glow Lighter, which is just like straight gold. I hope that picks up on camera. I think it's really nice for the holidays because it gives like a... It's over the top, but I'm an over the top highlight type of person, so it works for me. Now I'm going to take a very, very small brush. This is an AOA Studio E124. It's got a nice like tapered point. And I'm going to go in with that same highlighter, and I'm actually going to use this for my inner corner highlight instead of Mary Jane, because I feel like it's going to help tie everything together a little better. Because then it'll match my cheeks. And I'm going to do the little scoop along the side, which is what Allie Glines does, and I've been trying to do it lately, and I haven't quite perfected it the way that she has, but I think it looks pretty neat. Take a little bit down my nose, Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to go in with my bold red lip. Take off the balm so it's not quite as slidey. And I'm going to use the shade Click Your Heels from Bell & Argent. It's not the brightest red, like, it's a red, but it's not like a fire engine red is what I'm trying to say. It's got a bit more of a berry red. Now I'm going to do mascara real quick, and I'm going to take, I'm actually going to use one of these. I'm going to do the Ipsy Betty Boop mascara. So no mascara. And then top lash mascara. And then just a little bit on the bottom lashes. Oh no! Got mascara on my bottom lid. I don't know if you can see it, but little speck in my lashes. Alright, now add some setting spray, and I think we are done. I'm going to use the Iconic London Prep Set Glow. This is what it looks like before you shake it. And then you shake it and it gets really pretty. So I love the way this smells and feels. It's got like almost a cooling sensation. See if I'm missing anything. I think I'm good. So this is my Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays look. Let me know your thoughts. This is, show it up close. And then a little further back, sometimes highlighter will pick up a little better like that. But let me know your thoughts down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. I hope everyone has a happy holiday and a happy new year. I will see you guys next time. Bye!